we'll kind of do like a scan and I'll show you just what's around, I guess, and kind of how we use it. So this room is a downstairs bedroom that we, I guess it's an office. It doesn't have a closet, so I guess it's an office. It's a downstairs bedroom that we have turned into the schoolroom. It is not, it used to be my office. It's not very big, but it works for what we use it for. We use the whole downstairs as schooling. So I'll show you those rooms and how we use those. But for this purpose, this carries pretty much all of our schooling stuff, and most of our group schooling we do in this room. So we have our maps and our flag. It occurred to me that some of my children didn't proficiently know the Pledge of Allegiance. And so I'm like, let's fix that. So every once in a while, we will go over the Pledge of Allegiance to make sure that everybody can do it. So I have a kindergartner this year. I have a dyslexic kindergartner this year. So this is her alphabet board. These here are from Target's dollar section. The board is from Target's dollar section. And then each of these clips have a letter on them, and then I'll pull them off and she'll go and replace them to where they belong. So I bought 2 packages of the clothespins. So total that was a $3 thing. There's some numbers in there, and I've written those actually on the back. Let's see if I can do this without dropping it. Nope. Written those on the back, and we flip them over, and she can work on. I'm gonna drop it. She can work on her numbers. So here we do independent work. We do the good and the beautiful. So we have some of their geography stuff. This is Scotland. Here my kids are allowed to use electronics, and so we sat down when they are able and old enough to use electronics, and we created a contract between them and us as their parents. And these hang here. These are the contracts that they signed, showing how they would, we talked about staying away on the internet. Everything's locked down, everything has a parent lock on it, but that doesn't mean we don't have to teach them. So number 1 is we stay away from pornography, and then we went over this with them, and it says if at any time you're exposed to pornography, we call it out, and do whatever you can to get the image off the screen, and kind of give them some instructions and have them read it to us. And then the second one is this equipment is not to be used for movies, videos, or YouTube viewing. We have our YouTube set up on the TV, and I much prefer that those sort of things be watched in public where everyone can view and see what you're viewing. So, and then this equipment shouldn't be used for personal use until schoolwork and chores are complete. So they can use the Surface Pros, which is what we have, for school, but they like to edit videos and they like to edit pictures and do different things. They have simple rockets on those things, and so those sort of things they can do on their free time, but their chore lists and their schoolwork has to be done. Then we talk about looking at creating contents that on this equipment that will invite the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit. This equipment should never be found around food or liquids. Yes, that is a problem that's happened before. This equipment should never be used on the floor. That has also, everything's been stepped on. Should never be left unattended without being in a secure location. And then just tell them they're responsible for this piece of equipment. They are not to play games on this, and that has been revised. They can play simple rockets and things that are educational games, but not anything else. This is another one. This equipment should not be used to chat or contact strangers or engage in any communication. We've had trouble with that before, online gaming and things like that has been shut down. And then honesty is the best policy. And so then there's a little thing that says, this device is a powerful tool, and this tool gives you access to the World Wide Web and all the people on it, and kind of just gave them the rundown. This one is my 11, 13, and 9-year-old. They all have access to electronics, and so they signed the equipment contract that they have a certain standard to uphold, to uphold, and they agreed to that. So that's here, and it stays here so they can see that. We have these whiteboards. We actually have a couple of them, and they're really awesome. And I wish we could have gotten both of them on this wall here, but there's a light switch right here, and we couldn't fit both. So I would have loved to do that, but we use this whiteboard for everything. As you can see, here's my stapler, and then what's left over of our all about reading is here, and then our markers. We were learning about poetry this last week, and so you can see here all the different rhyming schemes that poetry follows. And then today we talked about articles as they apply to diagramming sentences. So this is amazing because the kids can come up to the board and write. And when we do like family school, which I'll do another video on, but we do family school, this really works out. So there's some more geography. In our house, we have a house of dyslexic kids. So multiplication charts are readily available if you need them. That is my personal philosophy on memorization, is give them the tools and they will memorize by use. And then some more math stuff. I have this board here, and this board just kind of it's above my desk here. It kind of gives us an opportunity to curb the what are we doing today. They have their own personal things that they are responsible for as school goes through the day, but these are the subjects I teach, well, not the Good and the Beautiful, but these are the two subjects I teach in this room at chairs with the board, kind of almost looking like school. I instruct, and so we do morning time and things that has all the other stuff, but these two things are our well-ordered language. We're doing chapter 5 this week, and then writing and rhetoric, we're doing page 26 through 29. That's a strange curriculum to try to break down in a week, so we do it by page. So that's there. So if there's any questions, this kind of gives us I have it broken down. I have my planner here, but I have it broken down a little more specifically for myself during the week. But this curbs kind of the questions, like what are we doing this week, or what are we doing today? This Good and the Beautiful that they work independently on, that's gonna be Thursday and Friday this week, because we have plans that dictate that I'm not gonna be able to stand here and teach these. So we're gonna get these done before Thursday. So, so this board kind of just is a reference so that they know and I know what's going on. There's usually more on there. We do Latin together in here. We do spelling, but we're not back into full school mode yet. We're kind of easing back in because we actually took longer off than we had thought we were going to take for summer. I think we took quite some time off. So I think we took upwards about a month off. So we're just easing back in. So we're doing these two right now and these on their own, and then we'll work into the rest of the curriculum. So over here is our art wall. It sits right above my desk. One of the kids created this for us and came around to each of us and painted our hand and asked us to stick it on there. So I put that up. But these are just things that come from the Good and the Beautiful. They're independent work. So I put those up there. And they're nice because it kind of fills that wall and gives them an opportunity to put things up that they are proud of, that maybe doesn't have a spot in the rest of the house. I don't really have a spot that they can put that up. They can put it in their room, and they do, but this is a good way to stick that there. So then I have my desk. These are my action items here. This little bucket here. If there's something I need to action, they go here, and then things I need to address, like sending back that box, which I doubt is going to be sent back now because I've had it for forever. And then this is where we keep all of our school stuff. We don't keep any books down here in the schoolroom, but that is because I like the books to be where my kids' bedrooms are, and so all the books are upstairs. And to go address a child. So, okay, let's start over. No books in the schoolroom as far as just books that the kids can consume, not consume, but I guess just the free read. Those are all upstairs. So pretty much anything down here is just curriculum and things like the dictionary. Our history books are up here. There are some books that they can consume down here, but they are for our curriculum later in the year. And so I keep them in here just so they stay intact until that happens, and then they get released into the zoo of books for upstairs. So I have my printer up here, which I don't love this printer. It's a Workforce, not really a fan. It's not ink proficient and efficient. Ink efficient. Sorry guys, it's hot and it's late. Ink efficient. And so I find myself not using as much as I would like. I'm sure there's an ink efficient printer out there. I just haven't met one yet, so I would love to find one. We have our pencil sharpener, which we love, and this is Bob. I think that's his name. I'll have to ask the kids. They named him, but it's Bob. He's back here. We love globes. We have globes everywhere. So this is our schoolroom globe. It kind of fits the theme of the bright, the white, the primary colors. So that's here. I have my diffuser that's going all the time. My favorite ones for in here are Citrus Bliss, or Citrus Bloom, and Lavender and Pink Pepper are in here right now. The other thing is this engine that my son got for his birthday that you had to build, so he built that. What else? So we have, I wonder if I should go over each of the cubbies. Each of the cubbies I've got set up kind of sort of in order. This is all language arts here on this side. We have our writing and grammar books here. Our handwriting is in this tub, and then this is our spelling. These subjects we work together here at the table as a group. So everything that's on this board is here in this box. So when we work together as a group, I give out books and we collect books. So writing, grammar, handwriting, spelling. And then the next one down is for my kindergartner, which is kind of like a mess of stuff. 4 Weeks to Read is the base program we're using for her letters. And then we've got some Good and the Beautiful and some Bob books and let me see, some chalkboard, sight word cards, things like that, all in there. And we kind of go over those. We have a plan for her. And then down a little bit lower is just flashcards and our Leapfrog little thing. You stick it in there and the magnets make the noise. Then we have a light pad that the kids use all the time, and then just extra writing. This is a whiteboard material, and then a couple different little whiteboards. Those are a really big deal in our house, and we love them. Down here is some other, these are all Bob books. And those little containers I got from Target for, I think they were $3. And then we keep going on to language arts, all about spelling, all about reading. I'm sure other people use them, but I have 3 dyslexic kids, so those will come after we do this section with my kindergartner. Then we'll move on to the all about spellings, all about readings, curriculums. And then there's some more language arts books in there, the dictionary, and this is all writing right here, creative writing. I've got a couple of different curriculums that we've used in the past, and we love the Well-Trained Mind is here. My oldest will start Lost Tools of Writing this next year, and we have this Good and Beautiful creative writing, and we've used that a couple of times. I'm not in love with it. It's not my favorite, but we have an extra one there. And then up here is all of our Latin stuff. We do Song School Latin, and here's all the flashcards. I know Latin seems hard and seems like a strange thing, but we have found that it is so beneficial for our dyslexic kids to understand root words, and it helps them have context. So we like it. It's super laid back, super chill. We do like maybe a lesson or two because I don't imagine they're going to be fluent Latin speakers. It's just a curriculum we kind of like. They have little videos, little songs, so we just do those. And then we have, this table is right here, so I'm having a hard time getting in there. We have all of our history stuff. We do Story of the World for history. It seems to be the only thing I love at this point. I'm sure there's many other options that I haven't tried, but we family school history as well. It actually goes in our morning basket. And so it just seems to be easier. We went over to the Good and the Beautiful, and I didn't love it. I didn't love the content, and just didn't feel right to me. So I went with my gut and we went back to Story of the World. So we're on the second volume again this year, and we're gonna keep going and just keep going around, and we add different things. We have the Usborne, we have the Usborne World encyclopedias, and we have them look up in there, and we have a couple other things. So okay, so this we have flashcards in. We have the geography cards, grammar cards, and these guys are what we're working on currently for our Latin here, and those are just easy to go to pull out. These ones are ones that are not been used by chapters. So these are the ones we're currently working on. Everyone's working on them, so they're in here. I have my laminator. And then underneath is more language arts that is unused. This is the Good and the Beautiful that we have not used. And then down is some more books and just some empty binders. I homeschooled we homeschool with a charter, and for a couple years we didn't. And so this is their, well, the pink one's empty, but the white one is filled with work samples. These are programs that we don't use anymore and books that we don't use anymore, but they're brand new, and because I have a kindergartner coming up, I'm not really sure I want to get rid of them yet, so we're going to keep those. These are things that we have ordered more of. So for right now, all of my kids will be going into Spelling UC this year, when we had done it a couple years ago, and we just weren't, my dyslexic kids just weren't there yet. And so we put it aside for a while, and I think we're there now. So we're gonna put kids back, my oldest back in Americana, and I ordered everyone else their level that it's appropriate for them. So I haven't gotten those yet, so that sits here. And then these are the books that I talked about that we'll go over when in the curriculum this year from our morning basket, but I didn't want them ruined, so they're just sitting here. Some of them a few of them I really love that I can't wait till we get to. Euclid, the man who invented geometry. I'm just so excited about that one, but we're not quite there yet. So we've got these stored away. We've got some other cute little fun things that I got from a friend who was getting rid of some of her homeschool stuff. The grammar tales, and they all talk about something else, a little Grammarly, and so we talk about that when we come across it. So the next one is our math box, and we are fully changing math curriculum this year, which is frightening to me because we have made our way through many a math curriculum, and I'm finally we've done Singapore math for the last couple of years, maybe like 3 or 4 years, and love it. But I think the kids are needing a more mastery-based program, so we're switching over to Math UC. So those books haven't come yet. Those go there. I just got rid of all of our teaching textbooks because that program did not work for us. So we got rid of those, but we still have all of these left of Singapore math. So I'm going to hold on to them just in case we need to cycle back through. So, but for right now, Math UC is coming, and we're going to start that in this year, and as soon as we get ramped back up. And the very last one is our science box. And this has all kinds of stuff. My kids keep science journals. These are their science journals. This is one of my sons did a science and history class through BYU Independent Study, and this is the binder that was for that, and one has the Good and the Beautiful chemistry in it, and that's kind of how we journal. These are their old journals, and then we just have some random, like, this is a body, and you put parts on it and stuff like that, and then some Evan Moore stuff that we've got in here that we don't really use, but it's unopened, so we're just gonna keep it. And then we got just different projects. Usually they'll stay over here, but that's a kite. We've got more science stuff. This is the different parts of this curriculum here that we're working on. And so there's little vinyl pieces that you put up there that we got from a friend. So yeah, so those are down there. And then I have all my office stuff. I got rid of a lot of my office stuff when we made this into a homeschool room, but that still keeps like labels and scissors and highlighters. That's all IKEA. I painted this one black to never get to that one. And then they're all just labeled pens, pencils. And then we have a craft bin that's just got random stuff. Oh no, that's the math one. Sorry. This is a math manipulative bin. And it's just got all kinds of stuff in it. And then I have laminating sheets. And then just some of these have like cards and things like that are in them. We have some marker storage up here, printer paper up here, and then we do Kiwi crates. No, they're called Tinker crates. They're the Tinker one, the STEM ones. I don't know what that is, but we do the Tinker crates, and then we have all these different kinds of projects that my kids really enjoy. And when there's no electronics for the day, this is where they know they can come and find something to do, and it's quiet and they can sit down and get them done. So there's some kinetic sand, and these are the buckets that go with kinetic sand, some stamps and erasers, and then just some random paper. And these are, let's see if I can come over here without making you sick. I have our calendar, and then we have all of our science. So it's kind of like our science wall, but it's, we do science and history. History we do in our morning basket, and science we do every other semester. So we really focus in on science for a good 3 months, and then we lay off and start focusing on history. And then while we're focusing on history, we're reading read-alouds about math and science and all that other stuff. While we're focusing on science, we do our morning basket is geared towards science. Wait, did I say that right? So when we're doing science, we're doing focused science, our morning basket's history, and when we're doing focused history, our morning basket is science. I think I said that right. So this is our science wall that we were doing. We're kind of doing a mashup, but right now chemistry is what we're working on right now. And then we've kind of got this just always going, talking about our bodies and the different things, because I have a wide range of kids. Chemistry is just a little over kindergarten, 3rd grade level. And so we kind of run these I run two science curriculums at one time, or 2 science subjects at one time. We dive into chemistry, and then we dive into something that's just a little bit easier for the little ones. So this is our easy, and this is our harder. Okay, so then I think the last of it is my carts, my art cart and my Play-Doh cart. I understand that having a whole Play-Doh cart, it might seem strange, but I probably could do a whole nother art cart on just like coloring and crafts and on like legit art supplies. But I had some self-control and only bought 2 carts. But these are all Play-Doh here. And because I have learners, everyone can learn while doing something. And that's the best way to learn. But some kids just need that more tactile, kinesthetic learning. And mine just need that. So when we do reading, when we talk about things that are pretty intense and need a ton of brain power, we bring out the Play-Doh cart and all ages play Play-Doh. So the other day we were talking about anthropomorphism and how animals take on the likeness of a human. That's a weird concept for people. We really had to dive into it. And so we brought out the Play-Doh cart, we stuck them at the table, and we just talked about it. And that was our lesson for the day. They did do some writing for that curriculum, but that we put the Play-Doh away and they did some writing. But while we read to them, while we talked about it, while we were engaged, they all played Play-Doh. So that is why we have a really big Play-Doh cart, because my kids love Play-Doh and it's a big deal. Okay, so in the middle, I have the table, and I'm missing a couple chairs. Kids just go and grab chairs and pull them up, because I haven't decided that I wanted to go back to IKEA and buy more chairs. So for right now, they are free to come in here anytime because this bedroom is downstairs. It is our schoolroom. It's technically our schoolroom, but because they have the option of all of these things and the art cart and the Play-Doh cart, they're in here a lot doing crafts and things like that. There's rulers and pencils and scissors and things like that on this table, and they can come in anytime and draw and do whatever they want. So it is a schoolroom, but it also is a craft room. And so in the sense that they come in here and just entertain themselves for as long as they want. So yeah, so I think that's it. I think that's our little tiny schoolroom.